if you're new here, I am Janedell Enriquez and I'm a student passionate about early childhood education. So today I am super excited to share with you some key principles and methods used in teaching young children, especially during those times super important early years from birth to age 6. So, what I learned about early childhood education. So, throughout this course on early childhood education, so I have gained a deeper appreciation for the complexity and importance of teaching young children. So, among the many valuable topics that are explored, three key principles stood out to me the most: the importance of understanding child development, the value of designing creative activities, and lastly, the needed to apply flexible, centered curriculum models and teaching strategies. So, first is I learned that a strong foundation in a child development is essential for effective teaching. So, understanding how children grow physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively allows educators to create learning experiences so that are appropriate and meaningful. So, like for an example, so recognizing the stages of development help teachers set realistically expectations and provide the right kind of support at the right time. So I also became familiar with the concept of sensitive periods, that especially within the Montessori approach. So which emphasizes the idea that children are more receptive to learning certain skills at specific developmental windows. So this insight reinforced my belief that good teaching begins with knowing how children think, feel, and learn at different ages. So, second, I discovered the powerful role that creative activities play in early childhood education. So, activities such as open-ended art projects, so dramatic play, sensory exploration, and hands-on science investigations do more than entertain. So they build essential skills in communications, problem solving, motor development, and lastly, the social interaction. So one important lesson I took away is that when activities are thoughtfully designed and connected to children's interests, they promote deep learning and engagement. So I now understand that creativity is not just an extra in the classroom. So it is a core method through which young children make sense of the world. And lastly, learning about various curriculum models and teaching strategies help me see the importance of flexibility and responsiveness in teaching. So whether studying the Montessori method, the if you still remember the Reggio Emilia approach, so or high school model, so I notice a shared emphasis on respecting the child as an active participant, so in their own learning. So effective teaching strategies involve more than just delivering content. So they include observing, listening, scaffolding learning, and adapting to the needs of each child. So I was particularly inspired by the Reggio Emilia idea of the 100 languages of children, so which encourages educators to value and support the many ways children express themselves. So in that way, so this course has given me a new perspective of on what it means to be an early childhood educator. So by understanding child development, designing creative and purposeful activities and applying child-centered curriculum models, so I feel more prepared to create meaningful and exclusive and inclusive learning environment. So these principles will continue to guide me as I grow in my role as an educator and advocate for young children. So the in one of one of the in applying my learning in a real preschool classroom is number one is to create a child-centered environment. So I would design the classroom so that children can move freely and choose activities that interested them. So materials would be placed at their eye level, clearly organized and accessible, allowing them to take initiative and explore independently. So this setup encourages decision making and builds confidence. So next is the second applications that I am going to apply is to use play as a learning tool. So I'd integrate lots of open-ended play. So with blocks, sensory bins, art, role play, and nature explorations. So through play, children learn problem solving, language, cooperation, and even early math and science. So in a way that feels joyful and meaningful to them. So by applying these ideas, I wouldn't just be teaching, I'd be helping children to grow into curious, capable, and kind human beings. And that's the kind of impact I want to have a future educator. So, so as a student learning about early childhood education, I've come to realize just how critical the early years are, not just for academic learning, but for building a foundation for life. So it's amazing to think that the things like empathy, independence, curiosity, and resilience all begin to take shape in those first few years. So what really stood out to me is how much trust and respect this approach gives to young children. So instead of forcing kids to sit still and memorize facts, methods like Montessori or play-based learning treat children as capable, so thinking individuals who are naturally eager to learn. So when given the right environment, so it also made me reflect on my own experience growing up. So I started asking myself what kind of environment did I learn best in. So and I realized the moments I remember most were when I was exploring, experimenting, or being encouraged to follow my own interests, not when I was just sitting and listening. So this topic has really opened my eyes to the idea that teaching isn't about controlling children. So it's about preparing the space, observing, and guiding. It's a humbling and exciting responsibility, and honestly, it's made me even more passionate about becoming an educator who helps children grow into confident, curious, and kind human beings. So, if you're curious about early education and considering working with young children, trust me, this field is so rewarding. Let me know in the comments section. So, what surprised you the most about how young children learn? So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!